So let's talk about the projects that we did launch, right? So we launched the mudroom design, and then there was the America First, and then
There's
there was a
the
chat
theme page builder as well, which I believe is still fully working. I'm not sure if we're utilizing it, but it should be working currently.
theme page builder. Let's talk about that. And so we got the theme page builder. We also have the chat bot content
Yeah.
creation.
Yeah. So with that, some reusable components for that could be anytime we need a custom chatbot. It might be faster just to reach for other tools, maybe Go High Level has some, I don't know. But if we need a custom chatbot, there's a template we can now copy and paste basically.
Okay. So let's just look at so overview. Quickly come up with mudroom quotes and leads. Say learn, solve a problem, let's say an existing problem of getting leads. It won't be actually great. So solving and then reusable. I built that on Lovable, but what is of that's there? What is reusable from there?
I haven't actually looked into the code. There wasn't a need to look into it, so I'm not entirely sure. But just the concept of just you taking a lovable app and being able to deploy it to a subdomain that's hosted. I now know
Okay.
the entire workflow before for your
Okay.
exact accounts and everything. So that's
Okay.
reusable.
So Lovable built deploy um to say that again,
Production.
and then put on a subdomain, put on a
Yeah.
domain. Okay. Let's say overview. I mean, I guess the end would be like results, right? So what are the results? So, I mean, we generated as a result of it. I'm trying to see if I actually sold one. I mean, I know I brought in, I don't know, five leads that filled out the form, I think. And then I think it might have generated 450 bucks. Right. Um, all right. America First Brief, right? Overview. It is a media channel app, right? Whereas, how do you call it? What are we calling it? It's like scraped content
It's kind of like a
and
news aggregator.
that's right. News aggregator based on specific keywords
Yeah.
and keywords and sources and redistributed redistributed to social platforms, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What did we learn? I would say like solve a clear problem. Solve a clear, right?
Yeah.
Was
The
that
outcome
the
was much more clear here than like the chatbot, for example.
that outcome was super clear and um so the outcome was super clear and we mapped out the problem and solution. And it's saved time too, right?
I mean,
Because it
especially compared to doing that manually. Yeah.
yeah, okay. Save time versus doing manually. Okay, cool. All right. What's reusable?
Honestly, the entire thing could be copy and pasted for other niches, for other clients or internal uses.
The whole tool can be used, can be repurposed for other clients, products, and industries, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Say overview, learnings. Let's see, learnings. And then reusable. Okay, overview. It uh repurposed uh viral content to a theme page, right?
Yeah.
That's what it did. Okay. What did we learn? Oh, dude. Well, let me ask you this. The newsletter function, that was pretty cool, right?
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Some should that be its own separate thing?
I mean, it easily could be. It just takes a bunch of information and summarizes it into whatever newsletter format we want. So it could be.
So learning. So news uh I mean I think I will put that as as a separate product because that was like you think that's right?
Um,
Or
I
kind
mean,
of
it could be
underneath.
implemented into any solution, really. It was only a simple make.com scenario with a couple prompts we can copy and paste. So it's up to you if you want to list it as one.
I think that's actually could be a separate. So it's like newsletter um newsletter creator, right? So overview. All right. So overview, it is uh how do we say it? How do we
Uh, it summarizes and aggregates content into a newsletter format.
it's yeah. Great. Learning. What do we learn?
This one was super narrow, so I don't know. Um, Normal text and HTML format. I don't know. Not
That's
much for
what
this
we
one.
learn. Yeah, there's not much. I mean, it's a simple make.com scenario, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's very simple.
And reusable. Um,
The entire system, again, could be copy and pasted for any data source.
okay. Theme page builder. It repurpose content and into a theme page and to IG and TikTok. What do we learn?
Uh, yeah.
What do
Um,
we,
I don't know. Most of that was stuff I knew how to do already. I just had to set it up in the way on our systems and accounts that we wanted it to be. So I'm not sure.
did you streamline anything that you did, or are there pieces of this um that you learn new things about?
I guess that I used Remotion to create videos through code better. And
Well, that
then
was under the chatbot, right? Creation tool.
this uses Remotion as well. They both use the same under the hood technology.
Remotion is the RAG system or no? No, that's Pinecone.
No, Remotion, yeah, Pinecone's the rack system. Remotion is just a tool that allows you to turn like website animations into actual MP4 video files.
Okay. And what's reusable? I mean, it could probably be used for the whole thing, right?
Yeah, it's similar to the other couple last ones. The entire thing we copy and pasted for clients, other pages, etc.
Okay. Chatbot, um, overview. What did this do? This did
I think the
like
main
step.
idea was to just try and streamline the content organization and creation process.
Is that's really it. It's a text-based streamlining of content organization and creation, right?
Yes.
Text-based streamlining of and content organization. The streamlining of okay. All right. Learnings. What did we learn?
Um, in my opinion, I think that the outcome didn't move the needle enough for to justify the project in general. Just because like the videos need to be polished already, and at that point you're already in a video editor.
Yes. So I think maybe the learnings is evaluate projects on time saved versus what? Like,
Time saved compared to time investment. Because like we could have gotten to a really cool point. It just might have taken another 3 to 5 weeks of like a lot of development time. There was a lot of more effort that goes into it for custom code.
well, there's that versus existing solutions.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
That's probably one of the biggest things,
Yeah, that's better.
right? Because there's, existing AI projects out there that potentially would have gotten us there sooner. Um, Not exactly, but what it so that's what we learned. And then what's reusable?
If we need a custom coded chatbot template, we can use that.
The other thing was the Pinecone rag system. Is that reusable?
Yeah, that was also used in the, yeah, that's something we could definitely reuse.
What else?
Those are the most important. Oh, the ability for AI to analyze Google Drive files could be a reusable component for other projects in the future.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay.
I think that's everything for the chatbot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, okay. So if we were to, I mean, look, we're not like banking in seven figures yet, but but I don't know. I think in, 3 months to be able to crank out some products and have some reusable components, I'm not mad at, you know, like I feel like we are getting close to something, at least in learning. Um, and so I have a list of different projects and I'm trying to decide like what, so I think that the framework that I would like to do, I do like there's like these major products. So so if I look at like, what's the next step, right? What's the next step? I think document more. I'm starting to do that. The other one is, potentially some more research and insights because um I'm getting like business ideas and product ideas from my podcasts, right? Um And I'd almost like to be in a space where if I can like map it out in Lucid and, think through the workflow, the question then becomes, do I either sketch out the user interface or do you start building on the back end? Like from a software development perspective, what happens first?
I think that we should have like the everything planned out with like just the basic idea. We don't have to go super detailed. And then I think, okay, this is a potential thing I don't know how to do or isn't possible. And I go test those ideas isolated. I'm like, okay, both of these are good. We're good to now move forward. And then I can build the back end and have it hook into whatever front end that you build, or I could do both inside Lovable if you want. It's whatever you want to do, basically.
So maybe we
But having a
have like,
plan first is ideal.
well, but how about we think through workflow, but then we think of like, what is the basic core problem we're solving?
Yeah.
And then we solve for that first,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. Like
Like
just
we
an
make,
MVP then.
yeah. So a problem, and then uh basic MVP. Um, and then it says once you have a basic idea, you test out ideas. Is that still work or you like how does that
The the basic MVP should be obviously something that's like solves the core idea as simply as possible. And in that,
hmm
I should be testing things that I'm not sure if I could do or aren't possible. And so the basic MVP should encapsulate that previous step you had already.
okay. Yeah, but then to for future features, that's what you're testing.
Yes.
Okay. And okay. And testing out future features. Okay. And then so then potentially then we're like, so we doc and then this is a framework of documenting and leveraging audience to share. That's what we're doing.
What do you mean by that exactly?
So the idea really is like is building in public. Have you ever
Okay.
watched this Startup Ideas podcast? You ever heard of that?
Yeah, I've watched it before.
Yeah. So that guy, you know how he brings on people and he just talks and and he's got a couple people that he just like regularly like builds and stuff with. So what I want to do is a little bit different in that I want you to be a frequent collaborator on stuff that we build.
Okay. Does
right?
that mean that you guys
And
are starting a podcast or a new podcast for this or
yeah,
okay.
yeah. So, and part of our rebrand is that we are, um, part of our rebrand is that we are going broader. So we're not just working with, you know, uh, we're not just working with like building construction, wood and lumber. Like we're working with nonprofits. Like that's why I had you on the call with that organization, right? Like I want to, I believe that AI is can help a lot of people. So like there's a lot of drama at my kid's school right now. Um, and I'm sitting in these meetings and I'm like, oh my God, AI could solve that. Automation could solve that. Like it's literally the way that I see the world right now. And so I would like to like tackle problems on a weekly basis and just be like, all right, this is what we're doing. And then, some other things there won't be building, but like, I'll talk to people that's going to help push the idea and our agendas forward. But for the most part, it's just like, yeah, we'll build. And obviously, if you're on the podcast and show or the video, then like you'll get tagged and that sort of stuff, right? So I want you to I want to have like collaborations and then we build together, So this meeting right here is like, I'm going to share it, but not only I want to share it, I want to be able to like set the framework for how we work.
Okay.
Cool. Um, so the one other thing that I'm thinking about is like so it's a client versus internal versus impact, right? So I'm thinking like, I have a bunch of different ideas here, right? Like things that I've seen in like for the home improvement, like I use Chat GPT to come up with these headlines. So these are tools for home improvement construction, content creation, personal development, family legacy, and I call it silver tsunami ideas, like ideas targeting the senior citizens, right? Like an idea that I have, I was like, oh my God, I want to like record my mom because she's like in her 80s. I want to record my mom and and just like have her stories and like be able to call them. We put them in a rag system, and if for whatever I want, I can recall my stories. She could tell me stories about our family, and I could share them with my kids. So that, there's like Woodpreneur design, um, there's nonprofit charity things, business ideas, automations, media, finance, wealth. So I have a whole bunch of different things, but this is the idea. It's like, I don't know. Sometimes maybe you feel like, I don't, what am I doing here? I'm like, this is the plan. We're building, we're co-creating together. So I'm gonna come up with like a framework on how we work, and like I'm gonna use Basecamp in order for us to like start building out these projects, and then we'll just get into like a regular cadence where we're just like recording and building, and I'll share what I'm learning. And have you delved into like MCP or Manus AI? Do you know about those things? Have you heard of
I've
Manus?
heard of them. I haven't dove in and tested them myself though.
Yo, I just had Manus the other day. Oh my God. I got access. Um, I got access, and I'll show you my Manus. It's actually pretty cool. It's an all-in-one. It's like literally all in one. It's built off of Claude. Um, and so one of the things that I had it do, so this is an example that I had it do. So I was like, I'm launching a newsletter and podcast targeting the architecture, interior design, and building community. I have the idea that I want to create a newsletter and I want to generate a mailing list. And a way to do that is by creating the ultimate lead magnet. the thinking in that if you're in the field, you want to be on the 80-100 list, the Architectural Digest 100 list. And I want to analyze this list, come up with a report on what are the common characteristics of the 80-100, where they're located, what kind of standout projects got them on the list, and essentially break down how anyone can get onto the 80-100 list. Make what makes them stand out. So I want to create a report that outlines this. Can you help me? And also come up with the name of the report. So look what it did. So what it does is like, you know how DeepSeek shows its process, right?
Yeah.
So it starts doing all of this, and then it created the a list, and so it went all the way down, and then what it did was um it created it created a report and a name, and then now look at this whole entire report. So,
Have you
and
tried OpenAI's deep research on ChatGPT?
yes, this takes it a step further.
Okay.
If I wanted to create, so like, look, look what it happened here. So I'm like, share, so share Manus's creation as an interactive website. If I wanted to create a website, I can just click this button and it'll create a website.
Wow.
If I wanted to create how to if an online course on recruiting people on how to get the AD 100 accelerator, I can type that and it'll friggin' create it and give all the code and everything.
That's pretty powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty and I'm like I'm using it on basic levels. What I tried to do here was I was like "Oh, I want you to create an accent wall design app." So what it did was it created this. So, you can create the wall, you can create the pattern, and then you can pick a color, right? So I wanted to do more, but I have like a beta, login or whatever. And so they throttle how much. They have 2 million people, it must be more now, on their wait list to get on.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like the ultimate marketing for a software. I haven't seen something like that in a while.